Hi, if you're new here, I'm Kaniti, and if you're already watching this channel, welcome back. Today we are going to watch 10th episode of 3rd season of series Skins UK, so that's the last episode. Let's see what it has. Let's go. Okay, so it is literally called Finale. No, I think it was like that in the first season as well. The last episode is just finale. So what I'm hoping for is that we see little bits of like every character's arc, but seeing that recent episodes gave us kinda the resolution for several couples, it seems like there's high chance we'll be more focused on Effie, Cook, and Freddie. Well, I seem to be right so far. So I think Effie and Cook here in some club chilling. Oh my god. How can you be in a place like this? It seems so overwhelming. Oh my gosh. They loved it. Well, this seems way more passionate than what we saw in an eighth episode. Honestly, with how they both are, their personalities do seem to fit, don't they? They're showing it in a pretty romantic light, right? That's a beautiful view. Very peaceful. She looks really cute with the pigtails, by the way. I feel like it's the first time I see this hairstyle on her. So they are traveling? So she doesn't enjoy it. So, okay, I thought he was serious, like we're just driving around. Yeah, I think so far we didn't see like anything of his family, right? Okay, so we can assume he hasn't talked to his dad in a while. Maybe his parents are divorced and he was like living with his mom. And since he actually does like Effie a lot, he wanted her to meet his like parents, including his dad. So his dad lives in this boat? Careful, do you think his dad is dangerous? What is happening? What? That's friend. Okay, I see some resemblance. So looks like he's very financially irresponsible. Is she already flirting with that guy? I wonder if maybe his mom felt that dad is being a very bad influence on the son. But why was she with the dad though then? Like, what happened exactly? Is this like a garage sale, how they call it? Or is it just a shop? Okay. That's not quite how it works, I think. Yeah, he's just being caring. Do we have a side job here or something? Yeah, they are working. No, working alone is boring. What is going on? They have some job, but he's quitting this job? What is going on? If they're here to have some money, he's just leaving. Maybe he doesn't want to work with Freddy anymore. kinda. Ah, maybe she's looking for her. Maybe she doesn't know. She would kind of check out with Effie. Like where she is, where did she go? Okay, good point. Good talk. Oh, it's really pretty view. I think that's lovely he didn't give up. It seems like he was really interested in this hobby. That's so sudden. Like, imagine mom of your classmate just comes to you and starts talking about all that. Like her divorce and how she played with Effie. Holy shit. Is it? Like, so she's scared to get hurt. She's scared if she shows love, she gets attached too much. Or scare a person off with that much love. Does she mean she misses Effie? So she knows Effie is on a journey and misses her. Not like looking for her, like where did my daughter disappear. Is this mustard or peanut butter? Looks like mustard. What the fuck? It's not the whole jar? I hope he doesn't throw up. Oh my god. At least they're having a good time. Oh yes, he will throw up. Oh my gosh. It feels like, what the fuck? I don't wanna be here. I wonder when Dad stopped being kind in Cook's life, because it seems like Dad did have some kind of influence. Oh, that's the guy she was kinda flirting with. Ah, like Cook did just now. Oh my gosh, run! Very healthy. Very metaphorical. Kinda in line with what her mom said, I suppose. It's like bottling it up and it crushing you, maybe. Clubbing? She didn't like his dad. Well, she doesn't want to. Oh my gosh. Okay, this is a way more chill atmosphere than the club we saw in the start. So she's the only one dancing there, just drinking. Oh my gosh. Imagine talking like this about your son's girlfriend. That's disgusting. Ew. Also kind of pedophilic. Very possessive. Though in this case... is the same guy that doesn't drink and doesn't smoke and goes into races. 4-time champion or something. Oh my god. That is like, well, that happens. Oh my. Cook got fucked by someone in the beginning of the episode. Now he got fucked again. That's true. That's pretty. Very polite laugh. You included, that's disgusting. Ew. Oh my gosh. Girl, run! See, they say pretty privilege, but they don't talk about how dangerous it is to be a pretty woman. You mean like only by blood, but not like parenting him, actually? Away from you, creep. I guess she sees some guilt here in Mrs. Zephyr, some guilt in dad, like part of why Cook is how he is because of this shitty dad. Yeah, and Freddy still has Zephyr on his mind. We saw it last episode or somewhere, or was it episode before last? Oh my god. He was thinking about her and now he looked at her photo again. I think he's masturbating to just some porn. But since he just looked at her photo, maybe we are supposed to assume that he's thinking about, like, having sex with her. What, can't he masturbate at his own piece? That's why you need your own bedroom with your lock. so you can use that lock and masturbate comfortably. That is so uncomfortable. Are you sure she wants to blackmail him? Maybe that's a good idea. Oh my gosh. Wait, he quit his... Ah, maybe they meant friendship and not the job? Are they going to go look for a fit cook? Oh my god. Is it going to be Effie? Really? He was just beat up by that dude. What else happens? Logic! Why do you need me to help cook? Why can't you help cook? Well, because I love you, so I couldn't care fucking less what happens to cook, right? Is that the logic? He's at his dad's home, I assume, in the boat. He is beat up, but he's okay. Or she thinks like save him from the influence of his dad or something. And like I want to be honest with my feelings, and I don't want to lead him on anymore. But I mean, of our loving relationship. I forgot to check Google for what is Fanny last time. Holy fuck. Yeah, sure. Cook. Was this a tattoo? Well, they do seem perfect for each other. And initially he's from US? He mentioned something like this before too. What? Ah, the race? Honestly, the chance of him winning is pretty low since he doesn't have practice, right? And this guy was a champion for... It is a small town, but at least he still has practice. So he won't have a place to live. These cooks are so fucked. Yeah, so that's his son, I guess. That's why he was so pissed, because his son beat up his son. Oh my god. Okay, I guess rescuers are coming. The plotline is so weird. Does your intuition tell you that? Ah, the Dockers Club. Okay, that seems like the right place, right? What is this? Someone is just dragging window off to somewhere. Wait, is this like part of the preparation for the race? I thought that was a window. Oh. I guess they are preparing for the festival. What is this pile of trash though? Is this like for a bonfire maybe? I'm just like, what is going on? The guys are just chilling. What are they doing with the furniture? Or is this like an obstacle? Chilling? He's so pissed about it. Yes. Yeah, he's not happy to see them. Well, ethical this. Poor JJ. Always trying his best. She's not an object! What the fuck? Yes. But she should be her own person and choose for herself. She has been making a weird choice all this time, considering, like, her feelings, I suppose, but... Oh, wow. Imagine if JJ wins. Wait, so we are running? Or... No, he's on a... Or maybe he just arrives on a bike. I thought this was a race, like, on bikes. To be honest. So it's just running. Oh, I would lose. So would he just run alone? If they weren't here? Okay. Oh my gosh! Look at this great news! So cute! So what, they climb on their backs? You don't just run? What is this? No, I would certainly lose right away. I wouldn't even be able to hold this grain. They have peculiar traditions. How is he supposed to fuck off town then, though? Would be easier to fuck off in the boat. And would the dad be like pissed at Cook? James is his name. Because they're both Cook, technically. Would he be pissed at James if James loses? Why do you tease this creep? Girl, no. Oh, okay. Okay, okay. I got that. Don't drop the granny. Oh, wow, Freddy. Who? That's the cutest grandma. I like her visual style. Okay. I didn't expect Freddy to be out of the race so soon. Is it over already? Is it just one circle? Who's winning? Oh my god. Okay, so this is between these two. Guys, get off the line, let them finish. Don't just... You're bothering them. Oh my god. Maybe JJ just... He was saving his strengths, and now at the last time he has strengths left to power through. That's really... Because he used his brain. They just ran like crazy, not thinking, but he used his brain. He was like, I will rest a little bit. She's not impressed with you. Crap. I didn't win because of you. Wait, so JJ won, right? So what now? Maybe the bet is off since they both lost. I love this outcome. Oh, the grannies love him to death. Oh, I love this. You didn't win. Are you serious? That is unfair. You both lost. Oh. Well. That's true. Though JJ showed to be the most mature one of those. So what, we have a group therapy now? Let's go. Well, obviously she's not choosing JJ. Would be funny if she was contrarian and like, oh, I'm gonna go out with JJ. Well, she was looking at Freddy, so like... So I think Cook figured that... Well, I think he knew always, so... She is most interested in Freddy, but... But she made it so complicated. Yes, but at least, well, the reward was to have sex. Well, they're clearly very passionate about each other, but I would say they still don't know each other very well. They just feel very horny about each other because he's a pretty boy, she's a pretty girl, and they're drawn to each other. That's it, basically. You are better than your dad. So dad ran away. That's surprising. I would expect mom said him to fuck off, told him. I think like these kids really made life complicated for themselves. Like they put a lot of effort, also beautiful scene, to make the life complicated. Just with their own hands. So this was just fucking day in that room. Okay. Wait. Did he fall asleep and miss his train? Oh my gosh, the scenery is so pretty. So he is running away with the boat, so the boat is not taken. Yeah, that's fair. You seemed happy to see him. Just say like it was nice to spend time with you, but you should go home now. I actually like I can't support you here. There's no space. You just frame it differently. But his dad is a piece of shit, so. Why were you so happy to see him then? Is this only because he's pissed that he lost? Reaction would be different if he won. Why are you holding the keys though? Just give him keys and leave. I guess he has this desire, as every kid has, like in their heart, to connect with their parent, to have love of their parent. And he feels especially hurt now as he also lost his girlfriend, so. There's no support line for him. Oh, holy shit. Just give him the keys and run. Why are you what are you holding them for? Oh wow, someone came to protect him. Thanks, Freddy. Well, he's alive, I hope. Is it? Well, it's okay, you tried to protect your friend, I suppose. Yeah, right. Don't be delusional. he feels bad for James. Trying to lift up his mood. Did you? You? Ah, so he wanted to live with Effie here? Yeah, I think he figured, well, I did. Not specifically. Like, stop coming after her? Or, like, say our friendship is alright, even if I date her? That actually makes more sense when he says it, because he spent a lot of time with her. He does know her a lot better. Yeah, it's not a plate with food you can't share. Well, people do have these like open relationships, but that's not what we have here. We're just chilling. Good news. Sensible. Like what? We are using the boat? Where are we going? On his boat? Okay, good. We are just leaving, right? No, we are tying off the boat? They came to collect the boat. Dad is still inside, so we are nicking the dad too with his boat. So we're not actually nicking the boat, we're doing what Dad wanted to do, living with the boat. See, he can't be mad. He was worried that he will lose his boat. And his boat is okay now, we're leaving, so no reason to be upset. He finally had enough of his dad's fuckery. It feels like what? Oh, that was a great. That was a great move. I loved it. Just. Okay, I guess this is like the plot line for James' character development. Maybe he is able to separate himself more from his dad and be his own person, you know, and maybe not worry about his dad's love and approval that much and find it within himself, hopefully. But I think it's still like the start of the journey, but it's already the first step. that if he does find worth within himself, that probably he doesn't feel right now, then he can become a better person and lead a better life, and then he can find a girlfriend who he would love and who would love him back and appreciate him and want to be with him. Because I feel like he and Defi, they will kind of getting back together all the time, like being drawn to each other, because they are both kind of broken people. So they felt something. What do we know? Wait, that's it? Nice song. How to say it? Like a kindred spirit, I think, right? So they felt, a kindred spirit with each other. No, I think this is just moments. These are not extra moments. Yeah, this is what happened in previous episodes. Well, I guess we did get some kind of resolution for all the character arcs. Well, in the previous episodes, we saw that Thomas and Pandora, Thomas, oh my god. Thomas forgave her and she felt very regretful, so probably they will be alright. Then we got Emily and Katie resolution and also Emily and Naomi resolution in the previous episode. So these were the only ones left. Again, I would say, I will repeat myself, but we have to kind of give our conclusion, right? There was this plot line, supposedly, that all three of them, they were immediately smitten with Effie, and I guess that's kind of like Cook the elder the elder what said, like Cook's dad said, that like, how does it feel when everyone wants you? So I guess she's just so irresistible, she's just so magnetic that everyone is just drawn to her right away. But again, when you see someone and you're immediately interested in them, that is a crush. You have a crush on this person, and that's how it works. You think about them all the time, they're always in your thoughts, you feel maybe kind of obsessed with them, and so yeah, that's what happens. They saw Effie at first and they were kind of obsessed with her, they all had a crush on her, but then genuinely, who spent the most time with her? It was Cook. So when by the end he says that I fucking love her, I do believe this. I feel like he spent enough time with her to actually get to know her better as a person, get more attached to her and develop the actual feelings of love and not just crush. While Freddie had like 5 minutes with her, as she had with Freddie. JJ, I'm not sure, like, he isn't even in the competition. She was never really interested in him, and when he says also that he loves her, it's also mostly a crush. He doesn't know her that well either, so like I wouldn't even talk about him, honestly. He is just a weird addition to make the odds more dramatic. 3 boys, 1 girl. But actually the competition here is between Freddie and Cook, and I feel like this is so complicated, but we can assume that Effie was genuinely more interested in Freddie. She would want to know him better. She maybe has a crush on him too, right? But as like her mom said, maybe she feels like if she lets herself open up and show her feelings, then maybe she will get hurt. Like when you open your heart to someone but they like spit in it, they break it. So she liked Freddie so much, she had big crush on him, that she was too scared to open up and express these feelings and make herself vulnerable. And that's why she went with Cook, who was on the same wave with her, who was just as broken as she is, who was just as complicated as she is. And that's why she kept going back to him, because I feel like she did feel this kindred spirit, and they are kind of similar in some ways, right? And they both try to kind of burn their life away, in a sense, from different reasons, I feel like. But still, Cook, I think maybe he feels worthless, and he feels that like he said, nothing good ever stays with him. So he feels like there's no love for him, there's nothing good for him, so why even try maybe and be a decent person and live more respectfully and normally when you can just be a fucktard, and there will be no special expectation, and if you don't try too hard, then you won't be disappointed that hard, when you are really trying for something, trying to do something with your life, and then it doesn't work out, you will be more disappointed, in contrast with when you are not trying anyway, so why would you be disappointed? And with Effie we kind of have the same idea, just with love, right? If you are opening yourself up and you are ready for love and you're expressing your love, but then your heart is broken, you will be more disappointed, you will be more hurt. But if you don't try from the start, if you close off your heart and go into relationships you're not actually invested in, then you won't get as hurt, which is very egotistical also, because she did hurt Cook in the end, because their relationship kind of started as a very non-serious relationship, I feel like, but then as he spent time with her, he actually got very attached to her and he fell in love with her, and so she broke his heart, and she did lead him on technically, because she wasn't actually interested in him. It seems like they were dating, he even wanted her to meet his father and everything, so she became very important to him, and her heart just wasn't into it. She was so scared, she's so scared of hurting herself, of others hurting her, that she is hurting others. I think that's basically the idea here. And also I talked a little bit more about Cook, right? With his dad, I feel like, yeah, his dad is partly the reason of why Cook feels worthless and not worthy of love. It seems like the idea here is that maybe his dad left, like JJ said, 17 years of birthday and Christmas presents and stuff, right? So they weren't actually in contact that much, and Dad obviously didn't send any presents or anything. Doesn't look like Dad probably doesn't even have any job, he doesn't have any money, he's living in this boat, completely like he wouldn't even have money probably for the Christmas present. But the idea is that I think that his dad is, I'm sorry, completely worthless, horrible person, creep, that doesn't love his son. As he said, he didn't want his son in general. Maybe he was happy to see him at first because he thought it would be fun to hang out and just, because he's all grown up, so maybe I can hang out with him just like with another man, just like with a friend, not as my son. I think that was maybe the idea. And then when Cook lost that race, that's when Dad got pissed and like, well, I didn't want you here anyway. I bet if James won, then his dad would be like, oh, my favorite son, blah 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 blah. So I think most likely. So basically, the dad was out of his life for a long time. He wasn't a present dad. He was never a good role model, as we saw here. And so that was a big reason of why Cook is the way he is. And we can also see why he was looking for a father figure in that man we saw before that was like a bar owner or something, right? He called him uncle, but I don't think they were related, actually, right? So I think James was just looking for that caring father figure, and that man, he was actually doing a much better job. He was maybe also not the best influence, but at least it seemed like he genuinely cared about James, and if James wanted something like narcotics, like drugs, he gave it to him. Not the best idea, but in general at least he showed some care. I feel like that is a very important moment in Cook's character development that we see here, and him finally deciding that no, this man is not my father. Well, by blood, yes, but technically no, and emotionally no, and he is not a good person, and I don't want to be like him, and I don't want to be around him. I don't want to be like him. I'm the cook, like he said, right? It's me. I am myself. I'm not the copy of my dad, and also I'm better than my dad technically. So I feel like that is a good step of him, like shedding off this weight of the past, of these expectations from his father, and being more independent and going on the journey of maybe self-healing and self-improvement. I'm being very positive here, right? And so in the end, that's what we have. The outcome, it seems like they're kind of friends again, these three. It seems like Freddie and Effie are maybe together. Dad is overboard. And Thomas and Pandora are together. Emily and Naomi are together. Emily and Katie. How did we end the arc? I think that they will be okay. They will be okay. Well, Emily also had this arc of like, I am my own person. That seems a little bit of a theme here, which is interesting. But yeah, I guess that's it. I don't know, I might have missed something. That episode was, it had such a dramatic plot line, like super over dramatic, which made it also super funny. I shouldn't be surprised, skins are over dramatic all the time. I was just like, what is going on? And those I just don't really like the way they talked about Effie, like especially Cook. I think he suggested like who wins the race gets her, like she's like an object that you can win. That is pretty disgusting. I don't think Freddie said something like that. He actually did let her choose like whatever she wants, and she made some interesting choices. But in the end, I guess all is finished here. Yeah, she made her final choice, but I feel like we maybe missed a little bit of her character development here. Like what exactly happened that made her ready to open up, made her feel ready to show her love towards Freddie? Was this like this trip with Cook, where she saw Cook and his father and was like, I can't date this guy anymore. I can't fuck him anymore. No, I'm going to Freddie. Fuck this shit. Yeah, I feel like I would want a little bit more of her character development, of her like realizing that she's brave enough, or she can trust Freddie with her heart, or something like that, you know, her opening up a little bit more. Maybe we'll see. Somehow I feel like maybe there will be another season with this generation, because we got 2 seasons with the first generation. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's another season with this one, and we'll get more exploration of their characters. But I feel like this is it for this episode. I think I should also give like my overall thoughts. And I would say that this generation feels a bit more relatable to me. I think I mentioned this before, that they kind of look and act closer to like my teenagehood, you know. So I feel like maybe that sees the first generation was just also like farther away from me in time, and this is partly of why it was harder for me to relate to them. Maybe this is a little bit closer, and so it's a bit easier for me to understand them. Obviously there are still a lot of times when I'm just like, what the fuck are they thinking, which is, you know, I guess you can't live without that in Skins. But I feel like I understood them better than in the first generation. I could relate to them more, and I would say that definitely made the season more enjoyable. Yeah, I did think their actions were strange. I did think that like I didn't understand some things that they did or stuff like that, but in general I feel like it wasn't as frustrating, and there were more clues maybe. So overall I feel like I enjoyed this generation. My favorites That is hard. I actually really liked Pandora. I'm confused. Like, again, see, the thing I don't understand. Like, I'm confused why she continued seeing Cook. I understood the first time, but then, like, why? Especially since she was so in love with Thomas and stuff like that. Obviously, she was guilty about that time, but then she could be just like, well, not do this anymore, and I think that would be fine. She could even be honest with him and tell him, like, while you were there, I wasn't sure if you are coming back, and that happened. I did have sex with the guy, but it was only like one time, and I regret it. I mean, she could keep silent about this also. It wasn't, I think technically they were already dating by their dialogue. Aside from that mistake she made, I really liked her as a character. I don't know, she just has this goofy energy that I enjoy. We met her actually in the previous generation, right? And even then she was already pretty interesting, but like, we got to know her better in this season, and I just really enjoyed her character. Obviously Thomas is like the sweetest person ever. He's the best person out of all of them, basically. And I really liked Naomi and Emily. Well, I talked about them a lot in my conclusion in the previous episode. I feel like Emily is probably the most relatable for me. Again, I talked about some things in the last episode, but just in general, I feel like I relate to her the most. Maybe a little bit to Pandora in her weirdness, so to say, because I was always seen as other people saw me always as weird and described me as weird. I feel like I can see also like the kindred spirit here a little bit, and I really like that in her, and I really like her style, like her hair, her clothes, and her makeup, always so fantastic. Like, she looks gorgeous. I'm just like, wow, that is really, inspiring. Maybe I should do something like this too. I really like it. It's really cute, like, nice to see. Emily's style is also pretty nice, by the way. They all look great. Naomi's dress in that love dance, that was fabulous. It was like, I don't know, British designer look with the dress and this like jewelry she had. Was absolutely fantastic. And what else? I didn't really care for Freddie. I feel like we didn't get to know him enough, actually. I think Cook was a very entertaining and well thought out character that got a lot of screen time and character development, that kind of got to get a little bit in his head, in his life. And I think he was really interesting and actually likable. Freddie, I wouldn't say he's completely unlikable or anything, but I just found him a little bland, and I feel like he didn't get enough screen time and development and everything. He was a little bit to the side as this pretty looking boy who is in love with Effie, and Effie is in love with him too, but she's too complicated to date him. That was his whole plot line. The only episode we got more of him was the episode with his sister, where he was shown to be kind of a dick, to be honest. Well, his dad was a dick to him too, so that kind of checks out. So yeah, I'm not sure about Freddie, to be honest. If there is another season with this generation, maybe he gets like explored a little bit more. And then finally, I think, did I talk about everything else already? Well, I didn't talk about Effie. Okay, out of the boys, JJ, I like him a lot. Also, he was relatable in a lot of ways, and he showed a lot of growth through the season, and he showed a lot of maturity. He had a lot of great moments. I liked his friendship with Emily. I like overall really nice character. I liked him a lot, because in the first episode it was still like hard to say, but then he really opened up and flourished and got to be a really interesting character, really enjoyable and really likable. Finally, Effie, she's the most mysterious. I gave my assumptions as to like why she is the way she is. But again, it's just my speculations. It's hard to me. I think out of all of them, she's the hardest to relate to, she's the hardest to understand, and she had very weird plot lines. I really like her visual style. She looks really pretty, and she has this kind of bit like punkish style, I would say. Not like full-on punk, but you know, some inspiration taken from it, and I think that's pretty cool. As I mentioned, like I considered myself a punk when I was a teenager, so I also saw some visual details that were that reminded me of my own style when I was a teenager, so that was pretty cool. But that's basically where my ability to relate to her ends. At her visual style, that's it. Her clothes, like makeup and stuff. Yeah, as a person, I feel like it's really hard for me to understand her, but I guess maybe that's also part of the point. As JJ said, like, stop with this mysterious shit, something along those lines. So she's supposed to be mysterious. I think that's intentional, but she's making herself to be mysterious also. She wants to be this enigma, but I feel like there's also this moment, especially as she's so young, she's probably an enigma to herself as well. She's probably also trying to figure out like herself and her feelings like they all do. So yeah, okay, that was a very interesting season. If you want to add your thoughts, I would love to hear them, but I can't hear them. I would love to read them in the comments down below, without the spoilers, of course. If there are any spoilers to be had, if there's like another season, well, you can tell me if, like, the fact, if there is another season with this generation. That is not a spoiler in itself, but I mean, like, without spoilers of what happens to the characters and stuff like that. Further down the line. So yeah, please share your thoughts. Maybe we have some discussion, but I feel like I have said everything I had on my mind for now. Maybe we'll meet at the next season, but yeah, that is it for now. That is it for today. So thank you for watching, and see ya.